All right, I'm on the phone with Ellsworth head football coach Duane Crawford, as we are every Thursday and Monday. And, Coach, with the deluge of rain yesterday, what did that do to your practices?
Well, we moved everything inside to the gym, and which is always tedious for the kids because it's a lot of standing around and a lot of talking, and so it was a tough practice to get through. But we practiced from 3:30 to 5, and then got them out after that. So it was X's and O's and line up the bags and blocking assignments and that sort of thing. So we were productive, but certainly not something that you want that's on a Wednesday night. That's typically a work night for
right.
your practice schedule.
I mean, and that's the thing, is that that Wednesday night is probably one of the most important nights, because Thursday night you tend to go a little softer because of Friday game day.
Exactly, and Thursday is usually a walkthrough, and tonight we're going to have to work on a few more things because of the limited practice we had last night. So we'll have to go a little harder tonight, which we generally don't want to do. So, but just a lot of stuff still to work through, and so we'll be practicing a little longer tonight, and hopefully the field is dried up. So
yeah, I think the field's in pretty good shape. I mean, places that I've been around to, everything was just so dry that the rain seems to have soaked in nicely into the ground.
Yeah.
All right,
definitely needed it.
Yeah. So last week you weren't feeling that well, so it was actually a good time for you to have the weekend off. How are you feeling, and how is the health of the team?
Well, we've had, and this is typical for this time of year. Midway through the season, and the kids have been in school for 4 weeks, I guess, and so you've got a lot of kids out sick. We've had 2 or 3 out sick this week during various times, and we had the JV game Monday night, so that limited what we could do Monday. And
right.
By the way, the JV team's 3-0, so they've been doing
awesome.
a really good job.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had some starters out Tuesday night, and some starters out last night as well with sickness, and so it's we just keep your fingers crossed and hope we can get them all together tonight, and I'm sure it's the same for most other schools too. You're dealing with all the stuff that goes around once the kids get in school, and it happens every year. And I get the same cold every year, just about the same time. So
I had my flu shot yesterday, because I know that with all the times that I go into the schools, especially in basketball season, you're just surrounded by sickness.
I know, exactly. So, and it's like a big petri dish.
Exactly.
So, and we didn't. I didn't even get to see the MCI tape until last night. It wasn't up on the system. They had technical difficulties loading it. So I just got a chance to see some of that, and there were some new things in there that weren't on the Holton tape. So we kind of have to walk through that. And the good thing is the kids all have access to the film too. So hopefully they've all watched it, and some of them are pretty good at watching the film and getting an idea of what's going on. But so a lot to do tonight, and Lincoln, despite the loss to the MCI, with the lopsided score that it was, they've got some players and they look pretty good. So we're going to have to play our best football in order to come out of there with a win tomorrow night.
Well, Mattanawcook Academy is certainly one of the elite teams in Class D, and you guys are now at 3-1, and I mean, this is really a kind of a gut check. See where you are type of a game.
It is. It's. They've got 12 seniors that see a lot of playing time, and they've got some good backs and some good players out there, and so we'll definitely it'll be a huge test for us.
How do you beat them?
Stopping number 27 is the key to beating them on the offensive side of the ball, because he does most of the damage. That being said, they do have a good passing game as well, so we have to, it's one of those things you have to be able to stop the run, but the pass game is equally as deadly. And then offensively, we just need to execute, and I think that as long as we can get our offensive line to get into their correct blocking schemes. And like I said, on Monday they run both a 5-man and a 4-man front, which makes for a long week of practice because you have to wrap both of them when you go through your offensive series, and so it takes twice as long. And so it's it's multifaceted, 5-man front, 4-man front, being able to see what they're doing on that end, and having the center or the quarterback make the call as to what the offensive line is seeing, and then defensively knowing whether they're going to be running the ball, throwing the ball, and being able to recognize the formations that they do that out of. So really a lot of prep work this week.
You've got a bus ride heading up to Lincoln. That's what, a good hour and 40 minutes from Ellsworth High School. It
is, yes. Yeah, I assume we'll probably leave around 3:30, 3:45 tomorrow, and get there around 5:30, and get out in the field at 6 to warm up and be ready to go at 7. It's going to be a crisp night, more like football weather than we've had. So, and that's the other thing too, getting the players acclimated now to instead of playing in summer weather, making sure they dress right for it's 38, I think, is the low tomorrow night.
Right.
So that's the big difference from 65 or 70 that we've been playing in. So
obviously they've got to dress appropriately while they're standing around on the field, and they've got to eat well on the bus, because I mean if they're eating at noontime and you're leaving at 4 or 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, or 4:15.
Yeah.
I mean they've got to be able to be ready to go for game time.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the things we talked about. We have team dinner tonight, so we have them load up on food tonight, which really is what you want to do the day before, is load up on the carbs and get everything in your system. But that being said, we have a lot of players that will eat lunch and then don't eat anything until we stop on the way home, and that's never good because you run out of steam, by the third quarter of the game. So it's getting them to do that, and even after you've talked to them about it 4 or 5 times at the end of practice, invariably someone will say, "Yeah, Coach, I just had a package of crackers for lunch today."
Right.
So.
All right. Well, best of luck. We'll talk to you on Monday, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris.
All right. Have a good weekend.
All right. Thanks.